everyone. My name is Jordan Vereen. I'm a recent graduate of the Durham School of Technology High School, and I'll be attending UNC Greensboro in the fall. And my project is called Catching Before They Fall, using school counseling resources to uplift Black males. So here's my agenda. I have a motivation, some background terminology, my research question, and some findings and limitations, and my future directions of further research. So my motivation for this project is all started because I am interested myself in becoming a school counselor one day, and want to start my career in researching about the ways we can help support Black males in our career and educational outcomes. And I'll be starting that by studying communication and sociology while at UNCG with the goal of going to graduate school. So my background information for you all, only 2% of our counselors of all types, so that's not just school counselors, that's our vocational counselors, our career counselors, rehabilitation, only 2% of them are Black men, and my research will show how having more Black men in schools, teachers, counselors, principals, will have a correlating benefit in academic and career success for Black male students, and helping them go through societal expectations. So some terminology I have for you all tonight include the American School Counseling Association, collaboration based on the American School Counseling Association context, the SWOT analysis, which is a strategic career counseling planning tool to help identify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I also have cultural development, intercultural communication, so those go hand in hand in assessing cultural diversity in environments, and basically being able to celebrate differences in the context of education. And my last terminology will be social and emotional learning, which is a fairly new term used in education per se, helping students of all types develop self-awareness, control, and overall belong in the context of school. My research question is, what strategies can secondary school counselors, and what I mean by that is middle and high school counselors, take to improve mental health and career development and educational outcomes for Black male adolescents? And my thesis statement is what cultural competency strategies addressing the historical barriers of schools can help improve mental health, career, and educational development for Black male adolescent students? Here's my methodology on the screen. This is a literature review, so some key words I found was career development, Black student success, communication studies, and counseling. And I have 13 sources total used in this literature reviews, and just some articles in Psychology Today, the Journal of African American Men, and these Journals of Professional School Counseling, Volume 6, in the Education China Review. Some limitations I had in my research findings was the impact of communication and counseling practices and the importance of career counseling starting in middle school. A lot of my research was geared towards high school students, but middle school is a very terminal time for students in their educational development. And lastly, societal impacts of Black males utilizing school counseling resources, so being comfortable just being able to be in the classroom, have a voice, use their emotions, etc. So my first finding is education and training, and I'm basically just going over the requirements of going into the school counseling profession can present a lot of financial barriers. That includes the cost of graduate school, also with the crippling cost of undergraduate, and also the hours that it takes to be able to be licensed to be a school counseling professional, going from 700 to 1,000 hours of clinical practicum and internship hours. And this is important to realize because a lot of internships that counseling students go through are unpaid and often take 1 to 2 years to be able to complete. Also, the cost of undergraduate, as you see on the screen, is about $20,000 per year. So health and wellness is important in identifying that Black males do have the highest rate of ADHD and anxiety and depression, while also having the correlating benefit of not participating in therapy. And according to the African American Journal for Health, stress-related responses and impulsive behaviors, so this could be known in the classroom as acting out or acting up, these are 62% more likely to happen when a school authority member, such as a counselor, a teacher, a principal, is not listening to the student's needs. And also should be health and wellness also comes to the cultural competency aspect of understanding health-related behaviors and the long-term effects that it will have on students. My next finding has to do with communication, and studies, an Association for Education for the Young Children Voice shows that black boys are unfortunately more likely to be seen as the problem children than their peers, and communication training and social and emotional learning is imperative to examine the breakdowns of conversations that go on between authority members in the school and students, and how that can build or destroy trust in student authority relationships. And having effective communication is important to understand the crucial ways that we communicate among society and bring a sense of belonging in educational spaces. And also with communication can be used the aspect of small group and privileged communication. And so privileged communication is the aspect of having that confidentiality that counselors use within the office. So ensuring that students feel safe and they belong and they're able to have a trusting relationship and communicating with their counselor what their needs might be, whether in school or at home or just the outside world in general, and just having that sense of ethics that the American School Counseling Association makes sure that in their training that you have some ethics behind it, that they're providing it with a sense of authority and also so they're not losing their license. They could be at risk of losing their license for violating trust. My other finding, career development. So some strategies that I have for you tonight include the SWOT analysis, which I included in my terminology, assessing strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in the world of work. Also addressing the societal norms. So if a black male wants to become a teacher, does he have any role models in the classroom or in his community to show that, hey, I can be a teacher because I have somebody that looks like me that is a teacher or an engineer, or et cetera. And so bringing in black males in the classroom, being able to have that sense of community and just show examples, prime examples, because black boys can do more than just play sports. And according to the Journal of African American Men, long-term career outcomes, they do 56% more likely black males that are 18, they felt the societal gendered pressure of being able to be fit or competent to complete college work. And this is important to realize because in today's world, formal education in general, whether that's community college or certificate programs, are becoming more important than ever to be able to qualify for jobs in today's world. And if you look on the screen, I also have a chart examining the fact that black men have had the highest rate of unemployment for the past 20 years. So this is just a trend that we'll be able to pay more attention to, and being able to address that in the schools will be beneficial into having that trend decrease. So my conclusion and future directions, social and emotional well-being of black boys must be a priority within schools. So I hope that as I'm going through training to become a school counselor, I'll be able to bring that sense of belonging in schools and be able to be that example for boys of color to look up to, and that my training will be culturally responsive and equitable and strengths-based, so helping make sure that not just black males, but all students, but particularly our black male students, that they realize that they are valued and that they are heard and that they do have a voice within the classroom. Culturally responsive practices and strategies such as having that small group one-on-one mentoring time will be important in making sure that, hey, if I see one student, I'll be able to build a community within the school that students will be able to feel trusted. And my future research, I would like to future research well-being and culturally responsive school curriculum for black male adolescents. Even though I would like to become a school counselor, I know that in my career, having that curriculum, that strong curriculum base will be important because counselors are the ones who primarily train teachers to be culturally competent in the classroom. So if I'm culturally competent, hopefully my skills and my voice will be able to help other teachers bring on that sense of awareness in the classroom. And I'd like to acknowledge the Samuel Du Bois Cook Center at Duke University, my wonderful cohort 2 teachers who helped me really structure this project together, the Hank and Billy Super Aaron Research Institute staff, and here's my college email on the screen. And I would like to thank you all for your help, for your wonderful participation today. Any questions? Yes.
I have a question. So you show like a really stark statistic, I think, on your any particular policy that you would dream of that would help increase the number of Black men counselors?
Oh, for sure. I would think about a policy that would help ensure that just school counselors in general, teaching, if you're going into public, any helping profession, that the government should be able to have some sort of sponsorship or some sort of scholarship, and ensuring that people of all different types of people are able to go into those fields, because unfortunately the pay and return versus the cost of education is very slim, especially in your first few years of the profession. So ensuring that people are able to afford to go into those fields, that would be wonderful. Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other? Yes. Mm-hmm. So my specific, yeah. Would you like to repeat your question?
Wait, hold on.
Oh, that's even better.
I noticed that the research was specifically focused on Black men rather than Black women in these positions, and I was wondering if there was a specific reason on that, or if that was just how the research ended up being focused.
Well, my scope of research, I decided to do Black boys of color because in my personal interactions with education, just being able to see other Black males who aren't as comfortable public speaking, who aren't as comfortable advocating for themselves. I just wanted to be that voice of reason to just show that, yes, Black boys do matter, and, if I'm able to bring that voice, then maybe somebody else will be able to bring that voice as well. Any other questions? No? Well, thank you.